The Prime Minister has made it clear military bases are off the table when it comes to federal quarantine sites. Despite appearing to call for a federally run quarantine facility in New South Wales, the state now says it's not the case, but warns it is running at capacity.
Richmond RAF base is 45 minutes from Sydney. It's close to hospitals and experts. But the Prime Minister says it won't be used as a federally run quarantine facility, and it seems neither will any other Air Force bases, despite their advantages.
Now, it's a RAF base, and it needs to operate as a RAF base. It's not a medical facility, it's a RAF base, and its first job is national defence.
Scott Morrison making clear he won't be constructing a specialist quarantine facility anywhere else in New South Wales, like the Commonwealth has agreed to do in Victoria.
There are no requests for additional quarantine facilities here in New South Wales. New South Wales has been doing the heavy lifting without complaint.
In April, the state's Treasurer explained the harbour city was happy to shoulder the burden.
Do you want the federal government to help out?
Oh, I think we can handle that, and we've been handling it, I think, pretty well. It's more of a service delivery arm that I think is probably better looked after by the state.
But on the weekend, Dominic Perrottet appeared to shift.
We can't just look at the same way of doing things over the next 12 or 18 months. This is a way in which our thinking has evolved.
Gladys Berejiklian clarifying the state's position.
Not only are we bringing in 3,000 Australian citizens home every week, but currently in our hotel quarantine system, we have over 5,000 residents.
That number apparently pushing it to breaking point.
The point I made was we certainly wouldn't be putting in a request to operate any additional facility because we don't have the capacity. We're at capacity now. We're doing our bit. But however, as the PM said, down the track, quarantine could look different once the majority of our population's vaccinated and our international borders are open. Well, then that's a different question.
The expert who reviewed the nation's quarantine system declaring hotels are an important component of the system.
We actually need both models, and what you want to be able to do is put your high-risk people in the place where you've got the best chance of containing it.
With the states now lining up for alternatives to hotel quarantine, the federal government has issued a list of criteria that any proposals must meet. It effectively draws a line through Queensland's hopes of creating a privately run facility at Wellcamp Airport in Toowoomba, west of Brisbane, frustrating Anastasia Palaszczuk.
It's great to see the Commonwealth now having criteria because it's showing a sense of ownership of the issue. And if the Commonwealth wants to set the criteria, they can design the facility, they can construct the facility, they can pay for the facility, and they can run the facility.
The comment proof division runs deep. Jonathan Lee, Sky News, Canberra.